Welcome to Fred Achando Analysis, ladies and gentlemen. The Siaya County Governor, Mr. James Agri Orengo, today delivered some coded message to Raila supporters in Siaya County. While attending a homecoming party for the CS in the Ministry of ICT, Mr. Eliud Owalo, Orengo invited the President of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto, to look for Raila Odinga so that they can talk. And Orengo noted that campaigns and elections are gone and it is now behind us. And he told William Ruto that for the sake of the common and ordinary man, Raila Odinga and William Ruto need to sit down so that they can iron out what could be seen as their differences for the sake of development.
Finally, Mr. President, I ask you in the spirit, not of the handshake, but in the spirit of togetherness, I urge you to sit together on the table of brotherhood with your brother Raila Amolo Odinga. Because the elections are over. The elections are over. I'm here with people I've worked with. I see Governor Mutua Weta, who is very eloquent, and we have been to many places with him. We have worked with Mudavadi, His Excellency. Even your Deputy President, I've worked with him. And I've worked with you, President Ruto. I know when you stand for something. Like when we were in Serena defending Aguambo, I knew you as a big fighter. But for the good of Kenya, I urge you that we should come together on the table of brotherhood to move together as a nation so that we don't divide our people. Otherwise, I spoke to Raila Amolo Odinga about an hour ago, and he said that I should pass to you his word of welcome. Na ujisikie uko nyumbani.
I listened to those statements and I thought it is not Orengo speaking. Orengo has been one of the closest allies of Raila Odinga. And whenever he speaks the language of Raila. It happens. Even William Ruto usually sends some coded messages within the government. Recently, when they realized that the DP Rigathi Gachagua was playing too much politics, the president sent the Chief Minister Musalia Mudavadi, son of Mulembe, to caution Mudavadi and to caution Rigathi Gachagua. And in a coded statement, Musalia Mudavadi told the Kenya Kwanza team to stop political bickering, to stop this attitude of campaigning. And he told them that it is time to sit down and deliver the election pledges to the people of Kenya. This time round, I believe Orengo was communicating to the masses, the supporters of Raila Odinga, their stand between Raila and William Ruto. I'm one person who personally believes that Raila Odinga and William Ruto have been talking secretly. You will forgive me for believing so, but in the fullness of time, I shall and must be vindicated because something is looming in the offing. Orengo was communicating the language of the Western countries. The USA, Britain, and the whole of Europe are piling pressure on William Ruto to have a handshake with Raila Odinga. This handshake must not be like the one that we saw the other time when abruptly in the slopes of Harambee House we saw Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga wakisalimiana. This time round, it is one that will allow them to work amicably. And it is something that has been going on. Like I said, this is my personal opinion. When Raila Amolo Odinga was invited to attend the US African Summit, one of the things that I believe they discussed is the idea of working with William Ruto. And this is the reason why there are talks around creating an office for official opposition leader. Recently, Raila Odinga met with the United Kingdom High Commissioner in a meeting that they said that they discussed matters to do with effective opposition and areas where the UK and Kenya can work together. It did not end there, because a day after meeting Raila Odinga, the United Kingdom High Commissioner also paid a courtesy call to the DP of Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua. Now, I want you to look at it this way. This meeting came just a day or two before the Nyanza tour that began yesterday. And the reason why I believe she met these two leaders, number one, was to caution them against playing hardballs, especially during this time when they are looking into solutions between Raila Odinga and William Samoei Ruto. Many a times when opposition and the government are making plans to work together, there are people who must be tamed, because it does not agger well with them when a government wants to work with the opposition. Why? I want to take you back to the last government. When Uhuru Kenyatta went and shook hands with William Samoei Ruto, William was raged, vexed, and he did not welcome these ideas. In fact, Raila Odinga himself explained that the reason why he took only Junet Mohammed and the reason why he kept their talks secretly, it's because many of his allies would have questioned why he was talking to someone who he had said robbed him of his victory. And so after talking, in fact, even his friend Uhuru Kenyatta said that he did not want to include many of his friends because they were going to be a stumbling block in their talks. So these talks went on secretly until when they realized that everything was now ripe. That's when they blew it out and they told the whole nation and that they had agreed to work together. To date, if you listen to the language and the tone of Rigathi Gachagua, he has continued to demonize Raila Amolo Odinga. And he is one person who is still becoming a hurdle in these talks. And I believe that this is the reason why they were summoned by this envoy, to caution them against maligning each other. It came just 2 days before this meeting. And this is the reason why Rigathi Gachagua went to Nyanza and toned down. It is also, it goes without saying, it is not rocket science that when you are in Nyanza and you are trying to woo their support for future elections, you cannot talk bad. But this one was an instruction specifically from the UK envoy. And I believe that she cautioned Gachagua to tone down. The other thing that she must have told Gachagua is to tone down on the Nairobi politics where he attacks Sakaja. So ladies and gentlemen, just to get back, is that the international community is interested and they are a kind of forcing a handshake. They've got their interest in Kenya and they cannot accomplish whatever they want. They cannot achieve what they want when there is a lot of political bickering. Raila Amolo Odinga has continued to be a thorn in the flesh in the successive government since 2007 to date. His advantage comes because he controls a big following, a following that is very fanatical. Raila Odinga supporters are people who are ready to die for him. They will always go to the street when Raila calls them to do so. So, I believe that Sorengo was communicating, and Raila supporters, and even those supporters who do not want to get anything to do with the handshake, must be prepared. When Raila was in Mombasa, he gave the green light to his governors who are allied to the Azimio, to work with the government. And then you saw the kind of reception that William Ruto got in Nyanza. And William Ruto played a trick on the Nyanza rebels, knowing very well that this was a tour that was being watched both in Kenya and beyond. All the ambassadors and the envoys were watching this because they want to ensure that William Ruto succeeds. William Ruto is their project. So William Ruto had called Hallo and instructed him to include those who were arranging this event, and they included all the rebels from Nyanza, people like the former governor of Migori, Obado, Owidi, Gumbo, Ranguba, those who either lost elections because they were not given nomination tickets, or those who just don't agree with Raila. And then after arranging these events and they thought they were going to take charge, William Ruto worked with the governors. That is why in Homa Bay, he was received by none other than the governor of Homa Bay, Madam Gladys Wanga. And when he landed in Homa Bay, Jack Rukma was there, but he did not receive him. It was Anyang' Nyong'o, who is the governor of Kisumu. And then in Siaya, a place where I thought maybe people like Miguna could get a chance to play their dirty politics, Oburu was there and Sorengo was taking charge. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that there is a handshake in the offing. And I believe that there are talks behind the scenes. And Sorengo's message is to prepare the supporters and the opponents of Raila Odinga psychologically. If you are still waiting for any more information, today is the big day because Sorengo said it. Raila had a manifesto and William Ruto had a manifesto. You will agree with me that if the two manifestos are merged together, then things might work. The only problem is that one manifesto was meant to assist the common man, the other was meant to assist the US and its allies, like giving us the GMO and removing all the subsidies. The writings are on the wall. Mwenye macho haambiwi tazama. My message is, be prepared for a handshake. That is my take.